One of the things I've learned from doing this podcast is that it's really the only time during the day where I get to sit for a few hours and not look at my phone.
Yeah.
Or I'm not always just checking my email, checking my text message, responding to text message I haven't responded to yet, trying to keep up with email.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
I just
it's
did. Yeah,
overwhelming.
I just did a 5-day pretty intense group therapy that I've been involved with since I was 19 years old, and deals with a lot of trauma, different things like that. And I'm actually a staff. I kind of help people out with the stuff they go through. And in return, when you help people out, you get help too. Like, for instance, for me, I've been doing it since I was 19. And it's a 5-day program, and it just helped me deal with the trauma, my parents passing, and, just different things that have happened personally in my life. Because, I know when I was on here last time, I was talking about the career and this and that and all these different things. And, a lot of those things that, happen to us as people and people listening aren't who we are. It's kind of, it's things that have happened to us that we become angry or become sad or we become depressed, but it's not who we are, because who we are we start off with it as innocent babies. We go into the world and all these fucked up things kind of happen to us. And, the stuff with my family and the store and my mom, I'm not just a whatever guy. I'm not Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Even though probably underneath it, he's probably fucked up, but I don't have, but as far as being
a turtle shell.
Yeah, I have this emotion. I got that from my mom and my dad. And it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard. But so I feel pretty good, and it's difficult, but I want to look into the future, my next 30 years, and I just want to try to be joyful, and and my thing is half full. A lot of us in life, we always look at other people, and we're always like going, like I can look at Adam Sandler, I can look at all these guys that are just, or I can, look at the fact of what I have, and it's, and I'm not the only one. I think everyone should, think about that, because especially like you said, with social media, everyone compares themselves, how many people are watching, how many people like us, and all that shit. And
that's so fucked up for kids, because they're just constantly comparing each other's likes and who's got more followers, and they're all competing against each other. And then you hear about these kids that are like YouTube stars that are 14, 15 years old, and they've got millions of followers. Like, what's the youngest YouTube star that has like a giant following? These kids are essentially getting like
and the TikTokers.
The toys. He's probably, wasn't he like 7, and he had like,
oh yeah, that guy's that's insane.
Maybe he's 10 now.
Yeah, he's that guy. That's insane. That little kid probably can't go anywhere. Imagine him trying to go to the park. All the little kids probably freak out. Where's the toys, bitch?
What'd
you do with the extra toys?
Yeah, but what about you? I mean, you've really like. I've seen it. Everyone has seen it. You've just really. How do people get to you? It's difficult. Right? No, but you know what I'm saying. How do you, like, for instance, like, you don't have a booker on this show.
Well, I do, but
you do?
I don't like it. I choose.
Yeah, you're the booker.
Yeah, right? But it's not like someone like picks the lineup, and then I go over it with them. No.
So, like, for instance, like Nicolas Cage is my next door neighbor in Las Vegas. Like, he's a friend. I've known him for many years. Like, how would he get to you if he wanted to be on the show?
I'd love to have him on. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I saw a video they did about his house in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, 60 Minutes, right?
Yeah. He's awesome. I love that guy. I met him once a long time ago at a boxing gym.
Yeah.
He was there with his son. His son was taking lessons at this boxing gym that I used to work out in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
So
but it was a weird one, It was like, whoa, that's Nicolas Cage, just hanging out in the boxing gym with his kid.
So how do people like that get to you to get on your show? Just like this?
Like this.
Okay,
he
cool.
he texts you, you text me, hey, what's up?
Right. That'd be great.
Nice to meet you.
He would be great on your show.
Yeah, he'd be awesome. He's a fun dude.
He's fucking,
with that Nicolas Cage movie, what was it? What was it? What's the act? I don't want to fuck the title, but him and Pedro Pascal. Oh my god, that movie's good.
Yeah, he's
The
fantastic.
unbearable weight of
Yeah.
massive talent.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's so good.
Because Mark Maron I see at the store all the time, and he's always like, you're Nicolas Cage, your next door neighbor. I wanted to hear the podcast, and I'm like, and I text Nick, I'm like, yo, my friend Mark Maron wants to be on the podcast, and he didn't text me back. So I mean, not to diss Mark Maron, I don't know. Maybe he was just too busy
Maybe he
he's
went on a
going
retreat.
The what?
A retreat. Maybe he put his phone down for a week.
Yeah, he
Maybe
put
did
his-
one of those things.
Yeah,
Could be.
So yeah, so I think he would be great on this. So
I would definitely
if
have
I
him
know
on.
any people that I think that you would like, I'll
Yeah, definitely.
pass them
Please
to you.
do.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's a weird thing to have like this sort of a show,
Yeah.
but I got to keep doing it the way I've always done it. This is the way I've always done it.
This is when you started in the basement with Red Band, right?
Well, we're in
You were in your
started
couch, right?
on my couch, and then we moved to. I had a spare bedroom that I converted into an office. So then we converted my office into the podcast studio.
Yeah.
So it was half my office, half of it was the podcast studio. It was like so
It
rudimentary.
was so, dude. It was so like Wayne and Garth, right? Just like in the basement.
It was, what it was? It was the response to, I loved the hang of being on those morning talk shows, but I knew that nobody would ever give me one. And I probably wasn't good at it anyway. Like podcasting is like anything else, I think. I think you get better at it the more you do it. If you go back and listen to my early ones, I was terrible. It's just, you get better at it. And I think that what we missed was like the Opie and Anthony hang. You do the Opie and Anthony show, it was a bunch of comics just sitting around talking shit about things. It was so fun.
So do you ever prepare for your interviews?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, depending on who they are.
Right. So did you prepare for this?
No, no, you're my friend.
He's like, fuck
I don't have
that
to prepare
guy.
for you.
This is just gonna fuck.
I have to prepare for things like,
Like scientists and things like
if,
that.
if someone's coming on to discuss something really crazy, like I really have to pay attention to what the questions are that I can ask.
Right.
Like we had Michio Kaku was on yesterday.
Michio Kaku.
Do you know who he is?
I heard about him. He's a scientist, right?
Yes, he's a quantum physicist, and he was on discussing quantum computing, and it's so
I can't even
above
open my laptop, dude.
It's so above my head.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so above my head. It's so hard to. He's like, he's so smart. It's like he's like hanging out with toddlers. Like when he was 17 years old, he made a particle collider in his garage.
I don't know what a particle collider is.
It's miles and miles of copper tubing, and it sends something through it. And he photographed antimatter in his garage with this device when he was 17.
Wow.
Like, that's a different kind of human. 17, you were hanging out at the store. 17, I was in Newton, Massachusetts, like being a moron. Like, this guy was making a particle collider in his basement or in his garage.
Wow.
It's crazy. There's people that are just. They're so much smarter than you, or in different ways, right? Like I don't think he probably wouldn't be a great comic, but they're so.
So you had to do a little research for what's it called?
Michio Kaku.
Michio Kaku.
But some even more than that. Like it depends on whatever the subject is. Like some people I want to read their book first and then have them on because I have questions.
Yeah.